Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I have 25 fun Halloween DIYs for you using supplies from the Dollar Tree. So let's get started. On this first set of DIYs, I wanted to do something kind of unexpected, not necessarily a traditional Halloween color. So to start with, I'm going to use 3 of these little black chalkboards from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to make a giant like pennant banner to hang on the wall, but instead we're going to be using like these little chalkboard signs as the pennants. Now, the most challenging part of this is just to get that tag off the back. It probably is going to require a little glue gun. And then I made stencils, and I did this on my Cricut. The font that I used was just Arial Black. I just wanted something big and bold to make these stencils with. And I'm just using my stencil vinyl. I get that on Amazon. I always have that linked in my shop below. I love this stuff. And then, of course, my favorite, paper transfer paper that I also get on Amazon. And then I am just going to go ahead and tape off any of the excess areas. I don't want to get any paint on there. And we're going to paint the letter B. This is just a very pastel blue. It is the Pool Chalk Paint by Waverly. And I just wanted a really soft a really soft color for the letter B. And the reason we're going to do like 3 of these is we're going to spell out the word boo. And I want it to have that bold black background, but with soft pastel letters. I'm decorating kind of a party table, but you could also use this for any kind of decor. You could also use it for like a Halloween themed like birthday party or baby shower. There's so many fun takes on Halloween, but I think pastels is definitely a really fun take. So this was my goal here was to do pastel Halloween for this first set of projects. I've got lots of projects for you today. And so this is the letter O. I am just trying to make sure that I get that lined up properly. I was trying to find the center of my sign, and this is my O. Again, I just used Arial Black, very simple font on this one. My stencil vinyl, and we're just going to tape this one off. For this one, I wanted kind of a yellow color, and so this is the color Maize Chalk Paint by Waverly, and just a really soft yellow color. As you can see, even though I'm using chalk paint, usually you could do like 1 coat on that. Since I am going over the black chalkboard sign, it does kind of show through a little bit, so I still required like 2 to 3 coats to give me like a really bold color against these little background signs. And then once I get all of these painted, I'm going to go ahead and string them all together to make it look like a giant pennant banner, and it actually turned out pretty cool. I love these little chalkboard signs from the Dollar Tree. I like to craft with these a lot. And so there is our first O. So we're going to do the same thing here for our third O. And this one I wanted to be like a turquoise color. And I didn't really have any turquoise chalk paint, so we're just going to do this one with some acrylic paint that I had. And sometimes it's a little easier than not to get this stuff down properly, but I persevered. So the first thing I'm going to do, since I don't have chalk paint, I don't want to do a million coats of the turquoise, is I went in with some ivory chalk paint first, just to brighten that up, and then we can do the turquoise acrylic over it. I thought otherwise it was going to take me a million coats of the acrylic to go over that black color, and that seemed to work really well. So this one is done. So we've got all 3 of our little chalkboards painted. And now it's just a matter of removing the excess stencil vinyl and stringing these along. I had a little bit of bleeding there, but it was super easy to clean that up. And now it's ready to string this. I'm just going to use some twine. This is the twine from Walmart, a little bit thicker than the twine from Dollar Tree, but either one would work. And as you can see, I just kind of string it behind the chalkboard like that, keeping all one piece, and then we're just going to go ahead and string the other pieces too, with most of the twine hanging behind the signs. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and finish the back of those signs. I was just decorating for a Halloween party, and so I didn't really care that they had those on the back. But if it's something that you are going to leave up all the time, you know, you can always finish the back of those. Sometimes I just cover them up with some contact paper. It works really well. These are really large, so it's kind of hard to get this all in shot. But I'll show you here in a minute what they all look like together. Again, I was decorating for a Halloween party table, and so I'm going to actually show you how they all look together here in just a minute. So the next DIY, we're going to paint a little ghost from the Dollar Tree sign, but we're going to go untraditional. So we're going to make this like a lavender color. I had this great color, and I just do acrylic. Again, it's the unfinished, you know, wood from Dollar Tree, and so super easy to paint. One coat is definitely going to get the job done, and it's kind of fun for a little lavender ghost. Definitely not something you see every day. Now for the next one, we're going pink. This is like that pink parfait on the little Frankenstein wood sign from the Dollar Tree. Just another fun way to spice up these Dollar Tree signs and do something unexpected. I definitely didn't want to do a traditional green color. Now we're also going to do a little wood skeleton, also from the Dollar Tree. This one I wanted a light orange, and I didn't really have the right shade, so I just mixed some ivory together with like pumpkin to do a light orange. I just wanted all different colors of pastels, and I wanted them all to be different colors. So I just laid him out. I left him all hooked together and everything, and I'm just painting him that soft orange color. And I'm going to hang all of those together like on the party wall with that boo sign. I think it's going to look really cute. So I just used some Dollar Tree twine, and we're just going to string new hangers on all of these. And then we're just going to hang them on that party wall. Last one is the skeleton. I think an orange skeleton's super cute. That could be traditional with the standard orange color. And then to cover my party table, I'm just using one of these little white felt rolls from the Dollar Tree. I have a light blue table already, so I kind of needed something to brighten it up. And I thought I could just roll out some of this felt, cutting it down to size. I wanted to look really fun and whimsical, so in addition to the white felt, I'm also going to take it up a notch and kind of make it a little bit more festive. And so to do that, I'm using one of these little kid white boas from the toy aisle at Dollar Tree. Now I wanted to do tombstones as well. So the first one, I kind of wanted this light turquoise color, and so I mixed ivory chalk paint because I wanted the coverage with the turquoise acrylic, and it gave me this really soft blue color, which is what I was going for. And look at the difference. If you take one of these little Dollar Tree tombstones, they're, you know, black and white, covered in glitter, a little bit tacky, right? And if you paint it, they can look really cool. So I wanted to make some tombstones just to like lean against the wall on my party table. But, you know, these would look great outside as well if you wanted to display them outside. And I love it in this light turquoise color. I think it looks so cool. It just looks so much more high-end than the way that the Dollar Tree sells them. All the structure's there. It just needs a little bit of paint. So I kind of used a foam brush and a regular brush because sometimes I needed to get in some of those little places that was a little bit harder to get into. And we're going to do the same thing here with our second tombstone. This one, I'm using that light blue color again, which is the Pool Chalk Paint by Waverly. And again, you do have to kind of switch up to a brush if you want to get in all the fine details. This one has like skulls on the front of it and says trick or treat. And this is definitely like a different color of pastel blue than the last one we did. So I thought they would complement each other nicely. And again, I'm just going to lean these on the wall on my party table, but they're so lightweight being made out of styrofoam that you could easily hang these on the wall too if you wanted to. And they do come with the stakes when you buy them at Dollar Tree, so if you wanted to put them in the ground, you totally could. Now, even though I used chalk paint on this, I noticed that it wasn't really quite as bright as I wanted, so I did have to go in there with a second coat of that pool color to really get that light pastel color that I was going for. And I am done with that one. Now this is one of those little gumball holder candy jars from the dollar spot at Target. I got it for $3. And I wanted to kind of fill this up, but I didn't really want to waste any space. So I filled the bottom in with bags. And then I found these little pastel colored plastic skulls at Target at the dollar spot. And I'm just going to fill them up with that. So instead of candy, it's going to be pastel skulls. And I kind of want it to look alternating. So I'm kind of rearranging them to make them look nice. And then just pop the lid back on there. I always love these little candy dispensers. They have them in so many different colors, but the white is going to be perfect for this one. Okay, for the next DIY, I wanted to make a lavender. Did not have anything lavender, so I'm mixing reds and blues and whites, and I was trying to get to lavender. And I wanted to paint like a little candlestick and a skull from the Dollar Tree. That way I can put them together, have a little lavender skull display for my party table. But again, this would be great for any kind of Halloween decor if you wanted to do the pastel colors. I got this idea a couple of years ago with Target, because Target usually does like a little section of pastel Halloween. Like I know this year they have like just an end stand of all different kinds of pastel Halloween decorations. And I think it's kind of just a really fun, unexpected touch if you wanted to do something different with your Halloween decor. So I got my little candlestick all painted. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue on my little skull. And then we're going to give the skull a makeover too, making it lavender as well, which is super fun. I love DIYing with these little skulls from the Dollar Tree. They're only $1.25. You can do some really fun things with them. And later on in this video, I have lots of ideas for you. So I did make sure that I got in all of the cracks and the facial features on him, just giving him a really good coat of that lavender all over. I kind of wish my color was a little bit softer on this because, you know, sometimes your paint can dry a little bit darker. It dried a little bit darker than I would like. Now, this is just one of those little jack-o'-lantern candle holders from Dollar Tree, but we're actually going to paint it. It's already got that like jack-o'-lantern face on there. I just wanted it to be like a pastel orange color, and so I'm just going over it with chalk paint in that orange color to try to make it look more like a ceramic piece. But I didn't think my color was pastel enough. I was just using that pumpkin, so I did mix some ivory together with it for the second coat to lighten it up. And that's way better. That looks way more pastel. And it was definitely going to need a couple of coats going over glass anyway. But just a fun idea of something different you can do with those little glass candle holders, besides just leaving them the traditional orange glass. I think the ceramic looks a little bit more high-end. But I've done so many different DIYs with them. I've painted them on the inside. I've done lots of different options with those. I always like to play with these because they're so fun for Halloween. I'm still going to pop a little battery-operated candle in there for my party table. The next DIY is one of these little ceramic ghosts from the Dollar Tree, but I wanted to give him a pastel touch too, but I wanted to leave him white as a ghost. So to do that, I am just using my white paint pen and going over the little black area around his eyes. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make those a pastel color. So I'm going in with my lavender paint pen. I get these paint pens on Amazon. I have a whole bag of all these really cute colors. And this is like the lavender color. And I am just outlining his little eyes with lavender. Just a very small touch of pastel to this cute little guy. But it's going to make him go with our pastel theme. And it lights up with different colors, and so I think it's going to go great on the party table as well. And these are great for tier trays too. I just did a recent video where I used a couple of different videos where I've used these little ghosts for tier trays. They're just the right size. Now this DIY is a Target Dollar Spot little ceramic house. It's just plain white. And I thought we would give it a pastel makeover. So I go over it with that maize yellow color again. I really love this color. I think it's really pretty. And just the house part in the yellow. And then I thought we would switch it up for the roof and try to make a pink. I didn't really have a pink chalk paint, so I'd mixed up some crimson and some ivory together until I got a soft shade of pink, kind of a mauve color. And just for contrast against that yellow house, I thought that would look fun together. We are just going to paint that pink color, and we're going to have like a yellow and pink house. And again, that's just party table decor. Now to brighten it up a little bit, I thought it needed a little white. So I decided to go ahead and paint the windows and the door with just some ivory, just to brighten that up a little bit. And I think it has a lot of character. Now, they were all kind of a matte finish, and I wanted them to be a little bit glossier and shinier for my party table, so I went over them all with some spray lacquer to kind of shine them up, and that's when I was like, I don't really like the pink roof on my yellow house. I just want it to be yellow. So this is me changing my mind and going back and painting the rest of the house, the roof, the yellow color too, just to kind of make it kind of all blend in together. I don't know, I kind of like it both ways, but I went with the yellow. But then I had to cover up the pink with the yellow. So I just made some more work for myself. But in the end, I like it yellow. Now I wanted to make a candy dish. And my first plan was to make a candy dish with one of these little great web bowls from the Dollar Tree and a little glitter skull that I got at the Dollar Tree with light up eyes. So I went outside and sprayed everything down with this hidden sea glass spray paint in this beautiful blue color. Now, I said this was my first plan because it didn't really work. I hot glued the little spider web bowl to my skull, and I want to fill this up with candy for my party table, and it was just not sturdy at all. I'm thinking it's just, I don't know, not heavy enough. So, plan B. I had one of these little glass spiders that's like a little bowl, like a little candle holder from Dollar Tree, and it's way more stable, probably because it's made out of glass and wire, so it's heavier. So I'm going to use a combination of E6000 and hot glue to glue that on to my little dish that I painted that light blue color. And this is so much more stable like this, and I kind of like it better too. With the spider and the spider web, it kind of makes sense. I made sure to get it good and glued on there though. I wasn't too sure about gluing to the glass, but in the end, it actually held up pretty well. I also went outside and spray painted the spider that light blue color as well, so it matches now. Now, the next DIY, we're just going to take one of these little foam pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and pull the stem off of that, and we are going to paint this. I wanted to do a little cute sucker display to display Halloween suckers for my party table. And this is great because it's functional. You can have candy for the kiddos, but you're just sacrificing a little $1.25 pumpkin. And so I'm using that pink parfait color to get me that pastel pink. And we are just going to paint straight the foam. No fabric, no covering it, just painting the foam. And it's going to be great because since it's foam, I can just stab the little candy suckers down right inside. I did have to do a couple of coats because it was a little bit streaky to get good coverage on this. But I'm going to display a lot of like pastel pumpkins, but this one is definitely for the party table. And so I'm going to replace the stem with one I like a little bit better, which is just one of these wood stems from Dollar Tree. By poking a hole in it and pressing that in through the bottom. That way I kind of have a flat top to work with. And I don't really want the orange jack-o'-lantern suckers for this. I really wanted these cute little white ghost suckers from the Dollar Tree. And so I kind of just separated those out, and I'm just going to simply poke holes, kind of stab the little suckers down right inside. I was having a little trouble just stabbing them with the sucker itself, so I decided to take a screwdriver and poke holes first, and that worked a little bit better because I don't want my foam pumpkin to like fall apart on me. But just a fun little Halloween night like little display, and you can display the ghost suckers, and it's also part of your decoration. Now, the next DIY is going to be super simple. I just picked up some of these little white felt ghosts from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to make a really fun little pennant banner for the front of our little Halloween party table. Now, they cut these, but they don't really pop out the pieces. So I'm just going in and popping out the pieces on our little ghost. They're perfect. I'm going to leave them white. I have a blue table that I'm decorating. And then I thought pastel. So I have some of this pastel gnome ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I don't know why it's called gnome ribbon, but it's all these different colors of pastel together in a plaid pattern, and I thought that would be perfect for all of our pastel colors. So I'm just going to attach our little white felt ghosts with hot glue. Just going to kind of measure the distance in between them so that they will be perfectly spaced. And then I'm just going to hang this along the front of the party table for another little fun Halloween decoration. It's kind of fun to do something unexpected with your color scheme for a traditional holiday like Halloween, and the pastels were definitely fun to make. Now the next pumpkin, this is just one of those like craft paper pumpkins that I picked up at Target, and we're going to paint it that maize color, that yellow color. I have already a lot of pastel pumpkins that I'm going to display underneath the party table on the shelves, but I just needed a few more. So this one is going to be this beautiful yellow color. And this was a great pumpkin to paint because that paper was just, that's kind of how it's designed, is just to be painted. And so it painted really well, but you could totally do the same thing with any of the Dollar Tree pumpkins. And then I am just going to paint the stem of the pumpkin in this like tannish brown color, just to kind of make that look a little bit more realistic and not that bright yellow color. And then this next pumpkin is one that is a bigger pumpkin I got for $5 at the Target dollar spot. It's already like a light blue color, but I wanted it to be even bluer. So I'm going to go over this one with that turquoise color, and just because I needed a few more pumpkins for it and really make this a pastel color. So you can see any of the pumpkins you can paint. The foam ones, you know, from the Dollar Tree don't paint the best. The one that I used for the little sucker display, but that was kind of a disposable little item. This is something, these are a little bit more permanent. You can use these year to year. And I love a reusable pumpkin, even though I have a really beautiful blue pumpkin that I picked up at Publix the other day. Really, I love it. Hey, let me give you a sneak peek here of how the party table turned out before we go on with more DIYs today. Since I didn't really give you any after shots of these, I want to show you how all these pastel colors work together, how I put it all together on my party table. Some really fun little pieces. I like the little boa back there. That really goes with like that pastel, really bright against the white felt down there. But we have all these little DIYs. I already had that pumpkin, really pretty. The color was perfect, so I decided to include it as well. We've got light up ghosts. We have a little candle inside the jack-o'-lantern. I decided to make my little pirate, my little skull of pirate by putting a little Dollar Tree pirate hat on him. From, I think it was like maybe a dog costume because it was really small. And then I really love the candy dish with the little spider and its web full of Halloween candy. We've got another tombstone over here in the soft blue and our little yellow house. I thought this turned out really cute. I had a great time putting this one together. I collected all my pastel pumpkins below, and this is how it all turned out together. I had a lot of fun making these, basically a lot of paint, but you can kind of combine all these colors together and get a really fun pastel display for your Halloween decorations, or if you're having a Halloween party. Wouldn't this make a great like Halloween themed baby shower? I think that would be so cute. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know I've introduced memberships here on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you can help support me here on YouTube, and you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos and shout out in every video. To join, just hit the join button on my YouTube channel, and let's back to the DIYs. Now, the next set of DIYs are going to be really fun, like skeleton themes. So I'm going to start with a skull from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using just a candle as reference. I needed something circular for reference to be able to draw a circle on the top of our little skull head. what we're going to do is make a really fun, creative, like skull vase display. So I just use my razor blade. It's super easy to cut through this Dollar Tree plastic skull. A little bit of it's a little bit thicker, so be careful. Don't cut yourself and just carve that out. Super easy. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I did try to smooth it out as much as I can. Then I'm going to make my own kind of textured paint, I guess. That's not really a chalk paint, but I'm using baking powder and white acrylic to give me, I wanted a really chalky ceramic kind of material to cover that with to make it look less plastic. So it actually turned out pretty good. I think it was the first time I've ever painted with baking powder. And then I am just going over my little plastic skull, and I wanted to make it look like a white ceramic vase. And I'm going to do this 2 more times. So I'm going to do a total of 3 of these and display them together as a set of 3 little skull vases. And they turned out so cool. The baking powder and the paint definitely gives you a really nice texture. So you can already see after 1 coat how well that took. But you could see a little plastic coming through, so I do have to touch them up here and there. So I went ahead and cut the other 2 exactly the same with a hole in top and painted them all with that same mixture, and then just going over them with a second coat just to make sure they're nice and bright and none of the dark colors or any of the plastic is showing through. And then I'm going to use a thrifted sign to put as a base where I can kind of mount these all down, and there'll be 3 skull vases all next to each other. And I found this for half price at Goodwill. I got it for $1.50. Really nice wood sign that I think is going to make a strong base. It's going to be the perfect size to hold all 3 of them. Just going to clean that up real quick. And then we are going to paint this white. I'm just going over white to cover up the white paint that was on there before, and to kind of erase that to kind of give me a blank canvas here for the base of it. I am going to be adding some texture and stuff to it too, but I wanted to start with just a white base. I am going over the black, and I'm just using that white acrylic from Dollar Tree. You know, I never really painted very much with the acrylics from Dollar Tree. Can't say I'm a big fan of them. They're very thin. It requires a lot of paint. Now for the little skull vases. I first start by, I had just scraps of floral foam from the Dollar Tree, and I kind of needed smaller pieces to go inside there to fill it up because we're going to need something to stab our florals down into. But I kind of needed to fill it up, and the only way to get all that foam in there was to kind of do it in just chunks. And so that's what I did. I just carved it into little blocks and filled up each one of our little skull vases. Now for florals, we're going to use these blue fall leaves from the Dollar Tree. I love these. I think they're so pretty. They're always my favorite. They're always my go-to fall foliage. It definitely goes with the beach theme in my house. And then some of them have pumpkins on them. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to use the fall leaves with pumpkins or not. And I do kind of like that contrast. They also have like little blueberries on some of them. It kind of depends on which ones you get. But these are great. They have these every year at Dollar Tree. I decided no go on the berries, but I did kind of like the pumpkins. So we're just going to kind of make this work with what I have. And I really think that the blue leaves with the white skull, the contrast is really beautiful. And one for the pumpkin right inside here. Just trying to make sure they are super full. I was trying to decide, I had one more with a pumpkin. I was trying to decide if I liked that, not so much. I kind of wanted them all to be the same. And I think that looks pretty good. We can go ahead and keep constructing. Now I painted this white, and I told you I was going to add some texture to it, and I do that with just some burlap. This is like the burlap 6-inch roll from Walmart. So it's got a nice finished seam on there. I am just going to glue that underneath the base of my sign, and it's going to give me a nice, beautiful burlap bottom that we can go ahead and attach those little skulls to. I also wanted to have a little bit more of texture on the front of it, and so I decided to use some Dollar Tree rope to kind of do just like a border, I double it up here. You're still going to see the white pop through from the back, but it's just going to provide another fun texture with the Dollar Tree brown rope on the front of this. I went ahead and decided to do the same thing on the back of it. Depending on where you're going to display it, you might be able to see the back of it. And I just kind of wanted a more finished project, so I went ahead and did a double row of the rope on the back of mine as well. And I think that looks pretty good. The base is all ready, and we can add the little skulls to it, just burning off a little bit of the fuzzies from the Dollar Tree rope. Now I'm going to want to make sure that I get this centered, and I'm just going to attach this with hot glue. The plastic was easy to glue down through the burlap onto the wood sign below. And it just makes them look way more high-end. They look like little ceramic skulls, faces that you filled with florals. They definitely don't look like plastic after the baking soda paint. And this is how they turned out. Isn't that really kind of a fun take on the skull? It's very decorative, but it's also very kind of creepy for Halloween with our little white skulls. But we still have our pumpkins and our blue fall leaves. I think that all the textures and colors just really work well together, and one of my favorite Halloween pieces. Now, I told you we were going to do like skulls and skeletons, so for the next DIY, we are going to use these little plastic hands from the Dollar Tree. I made sure that I got like 4 right hands and 4 left hands. I don't know if it really matters. And I had some antique white paint that we're going to use for this. I want the same kind of technique though, so I am going to mix this acrylic paint with baking powder again so I can get that same kind of ceramic texture. I really like that for a skeleton because I don't really like the way that these are colored. I think they look better painted. I think they just look way more high-end. So we're going to paint all 8 of our little hands, and we're going to have to paint them front and back. And the reason that we need so many of these little skeleton hands is we're going to make a skeleton hand wreath. I've seen people make these. I've seen people make them like very cute, decorative for Halloween. But I wanted to make mine kind of a more beautiful skeleton decoration, kind of like what we just did with our little skull. See if we can make it look a little bit more high-end and a little less cute. So a pretty skeleton wreath. So I went ahead and painted them all and flipped them all over. Since they're kind of a little bit curled, I wanted to make sure that both sides were painted to give it a more 3D effect if you were to look at it from the sides, and this seemed to work really well. So I did use a brush too to make sure I could get in all of the little cracks between the joints and the hands and paint all these little guys white. The paint worked really well. I really only needed 1 coat, and now I've lined them all up into a wreath shape. And I'm going to use one of these little wire wreath forms from the Dollar Tree and hot glue to start attaching it. I make sure I use a lot of hot glue, but I thought it was going to need more structure, so I decided to reinforce it with Dollar Tree rope. This is all going to be hidden on the back of the wreath. You won't be able to see the metal wreath form or the rope, but I think it really did need a little bit more attention, so that is why I went back with the Dollar Tree rope, hot gluing that to each one of the hands to make sure that this is going to stay together outside on my door for Halloween. And so I just went on the inside and the outside of that metal wreath form with that Dollar Tree rope, hot gluing that all down. I really think that helped tether it together. I decided 1 more row. I didn't want to take any chances since I was working with hot glue and this is going outside. So I glue 1 more row of the rope around to gather this together. Now, I told you I wanted to make this more decorative, so I have one of these little wreaths that I got at the Target dollar spot, and I'm just going to tie that to the front of our little skeleton hand wreath. So it's going to be very unexpected. You're going to have like a traditional wreath, but you're going to have all these little skeleton hands like curled behind it. And so you kind of have to look at it carefully to be like, is that a Halloween decoration? Oh, that's definitely a Halloween decoration. I went ahead and tied the bottom on too, just to kind of make sure this stayed center and in place. And that's really all there is to it, our little skeleton hand wreath. I thought this one was really fun and unexpected, And I really like crafting with those little skeleton hands. I think they're nice and creepy. What do you guys think about my take on the skeleton hand wreath? It's super cute. I actually made this 2 years ago here on my channel, and it's still held up fine. So the building technique worked. Now I wanted to make another fun skull display, see if we can make something pretty. So I'm using a Dollar Tree skull again, a Dollar Tree ceramic candle holder, and I'm mixing the white acrylic with the baking powder again to give me another ceramic display. I'm not going to make this one a vase. I wanted to see if I could make this like some like kind of weird but pretty skeleton display. So I'm going to use that same paint. My candle holder was already white, but I kind of wanted to match. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a coat of that baking powder paint as well to kind of make it all blend in. And we're going to add a lot of bling and fun and style to this one as well. To attach it, I use some E6000 and hot glue in combination to make sure this stays on there. Anytime I work with glass, I try to like to use the E6000 too. It's just going to make it stronger. And I just glue my little skull right onto the center where like the flat part is flat against the little candlestick. And then I'm just going to go back in and touch up my paint on this little guy. Now this is how we're going to bling it out. Some of this adhesive diamond wrap from Dollar Tree. I have it in this blue jeweled pattern, but I don't really want it to be jeweled. I do want it to be blue. So I'll show you how I kind of pull that off. Now, what I did was just cut down strips so I could have one strip at a time. And we were just covering like the skull cap with the diamond wrap. So I start like right above like the eyebrow area and the top of the nose there. I kind of went down a little bit. And I'm just, they're already adhesive. So I'm just sticking those down like a sticker. Now, I was getting tired of doing one strip at a time, so I kind of moved to 3 rows at a time for that section because it was pretty much all the same length it was going to need to be. And I kind of keep working with that. That time I did 2. I just want to fill up the entire like skull cap area with that diamond wrap. So it does get a little trickier when you get to the sides, but I just kind of wanted to go around as much of that as I can. If I need to like do individual rows or individual pieces, I totally will. But I don't want to leave, I want to leave the face, that ceramic, but have everything else be bejeweled. I was just going for a really different take on the skull than any that I had seen before. And as you can see, this is where it gets a little tricky because I did have to cut that, but it is like a sheet of the diamond wrap. So you can leave the backing on it, kind of cut it down to size, fill in one piece if you need to get it all filled in. And in the end, it actually turned out really cute. So we're going to go ahead and fill in the other side as well, trying to get as much coverage as I can without really covering up any of the face. Now, I kind of wanted this to coordinate with that first DIY we did, the little skull vases that had the blue leaves in there. So that was kind of what I was going for. So I'm going to mix a couple colors of blue paint together to try to get that like navy color and that the leaves were. So I do like some blues. I didn't have anything dark enough, so I added a little black. And then I'm just going to go in with a brush and we're going to paint all those little gems on there, that like navy color. That way it's going to take away some of the jeweled effect and just kind of give me the texture, which is what I was going for. But, you know, if you like the jeweled effect, it would look really cool to leave it like that too. I just kind of wanted it to be less bling and more coordinating with the blue leaves we're going to use to decorate this DIY as well. It was a little tricky to paint, but I just kind of wanted to bring out that cool texture, and I think it did. Now for the blue leaves, I'm just going to use some to decorate the base of the candlestick. I just tied some twine around the candlestick, and I am just sticking some of the little blue fall leaves in there for decoration. And using that rope to kind of keep it taut. I just kind of wanted to make it look decorative with the blue leaves. And then I thought it maybe needed a little bit more, so I decided to add a little bit more decorations to the candlestick part. There's that little lip that goes around the skull, and I thought it would be fun to take in some Dollar Tree wood beads, just leaving them natural and kind of wrapping that around the candlestick for another little decorative touch. Because we were going for glam, kind of, with these skeleton and skull decorations. They were super fun to make. This one took a little while with all the stickers being on the skull, but it's definitely unique. It's definitely unexpected. You'll have to let me know in the comments below what you think about this little guy. Now, I was completely finished with it and decided I wanted to brighten it up a little bit. So I did distress the top of the head with some ivory and a chalk brush just to lighten it up a little bit. I thought some of the areas were just a little bit too dark. But otherwise, it's still navy, still blue, and it goes great with the leaves that we added to it. So there it is. We have our little blinged out skull. Very unexpected, very skeleton chic, I guess. But it was a fun DIY. Sometimes it's fun to think outside the box and try to do something a little bit different. And that's how it looks next to our little vase that we did earlier. I did a pretty good job of matching the colors, and it's definitely got lots of bling, lots of texture on that guy. Hey guys, I want to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about my private Facebook group. I always have it linked below. We would love to have you over there. I'd also really appreciate it if you can come follow my Facebook page. I'm trying to do more engagement over there. And I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest at Crafty Beach on YouTube. Back to the DIYs. Now, these are going to be super simple. I picked up just a Target Dollar Spot sign. That's just going to be a background sign. And a jack-o'-lantern wood sign from Dollar Tree. What my goal was on these was to make some really simple 5-minute Halloween decorations. If you're short on time, but you want to just decorate Halloween decorations, maybe just for even a day for the trick-or-treaters or whatever, if you don't normally display Halloween decorations. I know a lot of you guys don't. And so I want to do some really quick ideas, show you how easy it is to DIY with these. So I just filled in the top hole portions with this spackle, and I'm just using some pumpkin chalk paint to go over our little jack-o'-lantern. We're going to go really traditional with these DIYs and really fast. So a little $1.25 sign. I got that little sign from the Dollar Tree on clearance, so it was like only a dollar or two. And then we're just going to do the little black eyes, triangles, and the nose and the mouth with just ink black chalk paint. And you can like leave it like this or distress it. I'm going to distress mine just because I have a coastal farmhouse vibe in my house and I like that a little bit better. And as you can see, even though I was trying to be super careful with a brush to not get black against my jack-o'-lantern, I can't say that I did a very good job. So I'm going to have to go back and kind of touch up those areas. Sometimes I struggle with Dollar Tree signs with the little raised pieces like this. Painting them can be a little bit hard. But this is chalk paint, so I'm going to try my best to get it covered up here. And then we can distress this little guy to make him look a little bit better. So to distress him, I'm just going to use some ivory chalk paint and working in one direction, distress him all over. This would be a really fun DIY to get the little ones involved in because besides painting the face, otherwise it was super easy to put together. I'm just going to layer my signs. I like to do that a lot with Dollar Tree signs. It's going to make them sturdier, thicker, and make them look less cheap. And just attach our little jack-o'-lantern to the front. And 5 minutes later, we have a quick, easy little Halloween decoration. Just a super cute traditional little jack-o'-lantern with a little distressing just for fun. Now, if you had more time, you could always take it up a notch by doing something fun with the pumpkin stem or something like that. Or if you wanted to change up the colors, you can just do whatever you want with that. Now, for the next DIY, I found this cute little trick-or-treat burlap flag at the Dollar Tree. And I thought we could make it into a really cute, easy little Halloween pillow decor. Just a little tiny accent pillow. So that is what we're going to do. I'm trying to get a straight cut here on the top and a straight cut on the bottom to kind of cut off that little pennant portion that comes down. I just want a little rectangle to make a really cute no-sew Halloween pillow. I found this great Halloween fabric at Dollar Tree. It's bright orange with little black cats all over, so I thought that would make the perfect background for our little no-sew pillow. So I'm just going to lay that right on top and cut down the back to size. I love making my own little decorative pillows. This one's a really small pillow, but I'm going to put it like on my little coat rack for Halloween, my little hall tree. I was trying to think of the word for it. That has a bench just for a little dose of Halloween. Doesn't have to be a big pillow. And I'm just going to hot glue the ends on here. I'm not going to worry about sewing, nothing like that. Just a little bit of hot glue. We're going to do 3 sides. And then that's a good point to start stuffing your pillow. I always like to save my old bed pillows and stuff like that when we replace them, because I don't really like buying the polyfill. I think it's overpriced. And so that's what we're just going to use to fill this up. I'm just trimming down the excess fabric to give it that nice clean edge, no fraying or anything because it's all hot glued down already. And then just taking that polyfill from the old pillow to stuff this. You want it to be full, but you don't want it to be so full that you're not going to be able to glue this other end shut very well. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to do a bead of hot glue on the inside. The burlap was a little easier to glue. And try to keep that as straight as possible, gluing that Halloween fabric to the back. I really like that Halloween fabric. I think that's super cute. And then just trimming up any fraying that may have happened on that before I got it glued down. Super easy, 5-minute Halloween pillow. Cute, and it provides a little dose of Halloween there to my haul tree. And super easy to make as well. Cute little jack-o'-lanterns, very traditional Halloween colors. The next DIY, I actually got this sign at Goodwill. It's a little chalkboard, and it was already black and orange, so it inspired me for Halloween. I got it half price, so it was only like 50 cents. And it looks like it was from Hobby Lobby, so a fun little score. I'm going to leave it black and orange. I don't really like the color of orange it is, but I can always touch that up. But the black chalkboard part I think is fine. And then we're just going to use some of the little window clings from Dollar Tree. And these are like the orange pumpkins, very traditional colors for Halloween. And lots of bling with glitter on them as well. And just kind of do a larger one in the middle and a smaller one on each side. And then we are just going to Mod Podge these down. I'm just going to do a layer of Mod Podge over the entire chalkboard to make sure that we have an even finish in the end. And then just lay all of our window decals down. Such an easy way to make a DIY for a seasonal using the little window clings. I always love DIYing with those. And the glitter ones actually turned out pretty cool because you don't really notice the plasticness of them because they're covered all in glitter. But I did want to seal them down though. So I did go over the whole thing with some Mod Podge on the top too, just to make sure everything is glued down. Just going to go in and give that a quick dry. And then I'm going to kind of change the orange color on the frame to make it kind of match the orange on the window clings a little bit more, which I'm just using that pumpkin chalk paint by Waverly just to touch up my little thrifted chalkboard fine. And this was so quick and easy to do. Definitely possible under 5 minutes. Just thrifting a little Goodwill sign, giving it a little bit of Halloween personality. So that looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and replace the hanger with some twine. And here's our little 5-minute Halloween decoration. Really cute little thrift flip. You never know what you're going to find at Goodwill. I don't shop there as much as I used to because mine stopped having sales. But I did find a Goodwill in the next town over that sells everything by the pound. I try to stay out of there though because my entire garage would be filled with thrifted finds. Now, the next DIY is a little pumpkin shape that I got from Target dollar spot for $3. Nice chunky sign. That's one thing I like about the dollar spot signs is that they're nice and chunky. And we're just going to paint this one kind of traditional colors too, using that pumpkin chalk paint on the wood. It'd be really cute if you left it wood as well. It has a chalkboard on the other side, so you could do lots of different things with this sign. And we're just painting that orange color, trying to avoid the hanger so that we can just leave that on. It did come with stencils, but I decided to give it my own face because jack-o'-lantern is so easy. So I just use a Sharpie and draw on triangles for the eyes and the nose and a little toothy grin. But it came with stencils, so you could totally use the stencils that came with it too. And then I'm just going to go in with my ink chalk paint by Waverly in this nice black color. It is so dark. I love painting with that because one coat is all you're going to need. And super simple to paint this because you're just painting some basic triangle shapes on here. And a super fast little 5-minute Halloween DIY. This is very similar to the one that we did from Dollar Tree. But kind of a different version. This one's a little bit taller. And I actually decided to make this one a standing decoration. And I'll show you that here in just a moment. The mouth was a little bit trickier, but with a small brush, I was able to pull it off. Just a simple little jack-o'-lantern face. You can do whatever kind of expression you want on there. And again, I'm distressing mine, but this is just personal preference. I love a good rustic look, so I distressed mine with some ivory just to break it up, kind of make it look older and weathered. And I decided I didn't really have anywhere to hang it, so I'm going to make mine a standing sign to go on my shelf for Halloween. So I just removed the hanger that was already on mine, even though that was a great hanger. And I'm just going to use one of those little wood Jenga blocks from Five Below, hot gluing that to the back to make a nice chunky little jack-o'-lantern standing decoration in under 5 minutes. Super cute, super easy. Again, if you had more time, you could decorate the stem on that, but we were going for quick 5-minute DIYs here. Now, this is just a jack-o'-lantern from Dollar Tree. It already has a stand, but I actually wanted to make this one a smaller hanging decoration. So I'm just using my heat gun to try to loosen the glue to pull the bottom off, and actually that worked out pretty well. It did have a little bit of wood sticking out, but I was able to just trim that up with some heavy-duty scissors, and we have this cute little medium-sized jack-o'-lantern cutout. I want to combine that with one of those little galvanized metal signs from the Dollar Tree, and I just need to paint it first. So I just go over the little wood jack-o'-lantern with pumpkin chalk paint by Waverly. So we get that traditional vibe. Again, I like to distress mine, so I distress it very lightly with some ivory. And then we are going to attach that to the galvanized metal sign, where the galvanized metal will be behind the eyes and the mouth. And hot glue that on. Such a fun, cute little sign. And that was super quick, so we have time to add a little bit more bling to this. I'm going to use some of that burlap and pumpkin ribbon from the Dollar Tree and just tie a simple little bow here. Trying to get everything to go the right direction and attach that to the front of that little sign. I just hot glued that right there in the top corner, and here is our little Dollar Tree jack-o'-lantern. This is really great because it's small. You could decorate a cubicle with this. Somewhere small, you could hang it on your fridge. Nice small decor piece, and I really love the galvanized metal signs like that from the Dollar Tree. They are really fun to decorate. Okay, another 5-minute DIY. We're using that same little jack-o'-lantern that we just used before. And then I'm just going to show you how you can paint this and make this look pretty cool for a little standing decoration. So I'm just using combination of my foam brush and my makeup sponge there and pumpkin, getting our little traditional jack-o'-lantern color. But I wanted to kind of do a contrasting face behind mine. So I'm going to use, this is just another little Dollar Tree sign, but it could be anything. I just wanted something that was going to fit behind it that we could make black for the traditional Halloween face. So I just peeled the paper off of this Halloween sign and went over the sign with some black ink, chalk paint. And I like to distress mine, so I'm going to distress mine all with ivory. I have a distressing addiction. I know, I know, I know. And then I'm going to paint the base of the little sign. We're leaving this one on and painting in the contrasting black ink color. And then we can just put the little black sign that we painted behind the jack-o'-lantern to give it its little jack-o'-lantern face. Just going to give it some more personality. Super fun to make. Super easy. This would be a great project for the littles as well, if they want to help you out. And I just finished mine off with a little twine, tied in a little bow around the little pumpkin stem, and a quick, easy little 5-minute Halloween DIY, a little jack-o'-lantern. So using the same thing we used for the last one, but really kind of has a different vibe, different look than it. And I think it turned out really cute. I really hope you enjoyed these 25 Halloween DIYs today. It's time for the final reveal. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please smash that like button. Comment your favorite DIY below. I'd really appreciate it. Or just come say hello in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Enjoy the final reveal. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you especially to my Crafty Beach Bum members. Thank you to Karen O'Haron, Coastal Couple, Pamela Bergeron, I Am Mojo Jojo, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Sandra Ray, Carrie R., Tracy Knight, Verna Noctegal, Julie Miller, Nancy Warner, Jan Zalata, Tammy Coates, Janae Farrington, and Pamela Wren. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I appreciate you so much. And if you'd like to watch more Crafty Beach, YouTube thinks that you might enjoy this video right here. Thanks for watching.